Hello everybody. So in my hand I'm holding something that is over 9 inches long. It's kind of stiff but a little bit floppy, and mostly I like to use it with big, round, black, heavy bumper plates. What I'm talking about is the dead wedge. What is this thing and how do we use it? Hey, just noticed I hit 149 subscribers, so if I hit 200, I may have to do something like 200 push-ups for 200 subscribers or something like that. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do. I appreciate it, and especially those of you who are reaching out to me by posting comments on my videos or sending me private messages. It is just great to be involved with this community, so let's all have a great workout. So, what is the point of this thing? The idea is if you have to load weight on a bar that's on the ground, loading the first plate's usually pretty easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap a couple of 45s on this bar that's sitting on the ground like I'm getting ready for warming up for a deadlift session. So that's not really a big deal, and even maybe the next plate that you put on, it's not a big deal because you can just grab this thing with your hands and lift it up and slide the weight on. But once you get to where you're putting on a lot of weight, I mean deadlifting, that's your heaviest lift probably, you may need to put on, I don't know, 200 pounds per side or something. And so it gets hard to get the bar up off the ground to slide a new plate on. What happens is it gets hard to slide these plates on because the bar is sitting on the ground. You're sort of putting the new plate against the ground trying to put it on there. So what you do is you slip a dead wedge under one side of the bar by putting it under one of the plates. So like this. So now this thing's up off the ground. And I can put another plate on easily. So here, just because it's up off the ground, it's easy to put on. So that's how you use it. They're easy to stuff in your gym bag if you're gonna go work out at a gym or a place that doesn't have these things. A lot of lifters will do things like instead of using a dead wedge, they'll use like a little 2.5 pound plate or something like that, a little chip, just to get the bar up off the ground a little bit. But the dead wedge is really cheap. If you go to the Rogue website, they're like $20, but if you go to Amazon, they're like 10. So there really isn't an excuse not to get one. You only need one because you just load one side of the bar at a time because the other side's gonna be held down by gravity. So for $10, it's really pretty convenient. It's very easy. You saw how easy it was for me to put it under here. To release it, you just do the opposite. And you're ready to go. Now, the only thing that I don't like about this is it's not super easy to tighten up the weights on the bar. So here, let me show you what I'm talking about here. So what I'm talking about is there's this little gap here between the weight and the collar here, the bushing. And so if you use the dead wedge and it's up on here, then you can't really move this plate because it's got the dead wedge underneath it. So you'd have to tighten this up some other way. With just these two bumpers on here, it's not a big deal, but you get a lot of these things on and you want to tighten up the plates, and it's a little bit harder with a dead wedge. A bar jack or a mini bar jack is going to work a little bit better for this. But again, for 10 bucks, bar jacks and mini bar jacks cost a lot more than that. And for 10 bucks, you can get this functionality. Plus, you can throw this in a gym bag. Even a mini bar jack, you can't throw in a gym bag. So overall, I recommend the dead wedge, especially if you lift at a gym and you need something you can throw in your gym bag. It's very small, sort of flexible. So not a big deal to throw in a gym bag. Personally, I like the mini bar jacks. I like to get the entire bar up off the ground at once and to be able to tighten up the weights on the bar. So I think the dead wedge is, for the price, totally worth it. And especially if you work out in a lot of different gyms, or if you have, you know, budget constraints in your own gyms, because again, bar jacks and mini bar jacks take up more space and they're definitely more expensive. I think this is worth $10. I don't think it replaces a bar jack, but I've seen some pretty heavy lifters who use nothing but this. In fact, you see heavy lifters that just go old school. They just throw a chip under there. So Overall, I think this is worth it. If you wondered what one of these was, this is what it is. Get it off of Amazon. Don't buy it from Rogue. It's a heck of a lot cheaper off of Amazon. So that's all I got for you today, everybody. So have a great workout, and we'll see you again soon.